Alright, so I'm gonna be talking about Illia Topuria versus Max Holloway, UFC 308. Great fight. So I'm gonna just break it down and get my thoughts. So my initial thoughts, I had Max. So my thoughts are basically like on the feet, you know, Max can, I think outpoint Illia basically. I think he can outpoint Illia. 'Cause Ilya needs to get inside on him. Max can stay on the outside, and I believed he can outpoint Ilya, and Ilya won't knock him out. And then he'll come away with probably a decision win, maybe a late TKO. So that was my initial thoughts. So now I'll go over Ilya's strengths. So, obviously his boxing. Everyone knows that. His boxing is great, fantastic. I think part of his game people don't know is very good is his grappling. He's a great wrestler. He wrestled in Georgia for a lot of his life, so he's strong. He has a great ground game. I think, and he said it himself, he thinks his grappling is better than his boxing, so I think it's tough, right? Ilya is really well-rounded. He has power in his hands. He's a great boxer. He has hard low kicks. He can grapple. There's not many weaknesses. So yeah, he's a tough guy. All right, let's move on. So next, Max's strengths. So Max is also a fantastic boxer. It's hard to say who's better. I would probably lean Ilya. But Max is a fantastic boxer. Good kicks. His ground game is decent. He can defend pretty well, but he doesn't have grappling like Ilya. His chin, that is also a huge part. His cardio, he's not going to get tired in this fight. So he's a machine, man. He's going to be landing. I think also his output. He has the highest output ever. He has the highest amount of significant strikes landed ever. The other problem is though he's also taken the most significant strikes. So this is the thing. I think he is a very he can land a lot. And if you've seen his fights recently, he stays out of the fire more in his last three, in his Allen fight, in the Korean Zombie fight, in the Gaethje fight. He stayed out of danger and then came in to land his shots, you know what I mean? And I think it's smart for his career. Even though he has an insane chin, it's smart, you know what I mean? So I like that style against Ilya, so I think he'll do, I think he'll land well against Ilya, that's what I'm going to say. And my final prediction, though, I'm going to go with Illia Topuria. If I had to pick, I'd say maybe Illia by decision. My thoughts are basically on the feet. I think it'll be competitive, but I think Max will probably outland Illia. I think the problem is Illia will land definitely the bigger shots. And he could catch Max and knock him out, right? But that's not even why I'm picking Illia. My reasoning is, if this goes later, and let's say Ilya loses a round, even two, he's going to start grappling. I think he's going to try to knock out Max early, but after that, if that isn't working out, he's going to grapple. And I think once he mixes it in, and it's going to be tough for Max, bro. He has to deal with the grappling, he has to deal with the power of Ilya, the boxing, and I think it's gonna be a bit much. So I'm going to pick Ilya by decision. I think he could knock out Max. I think he could submit Max. I think he has a lot of ways to win this fight. If this just was an on-the-feet fight, I think it's very close. I think it's very close. Because I think Max, again, can outland him. I think Max, has a chin. He could possibly take Ilya's big shots. His head movement is good. His boxing, his pure boxing is better than Volkanovski's, I'd say. You know what I mean? So I think he'll do well in this fight, but I think Ilya will mix his game and show why he's a champion. You know what I mean? And yeah, so my final prediction: Ilya Topuria. Thank you for listening.